Nicholas first came to Maguire Memorial when he was 4.5 years old, and he had the diagnosis of Noonan syndrome, which is short stature, some mental retardation, nerve deafness, and we found out right before he came that he was also legally blind. And there was no kind of communication between Nicholas and I. I didn't know if there was anything really inside. If there was, I didn't get to see it. He didn't walk or talk or feed himself. He wore diapers. And we been coming to visit him for 21 years, and just last year I was here one day and his speech therapist said to me, "Nicholas is using yes/no cards." And I said, "No way, I don't believe it." And she said, "No, really, that he is. Would you like to see it?" And I said, "Yes, I would." So she got his yes/no cards out and she said, "Nicholas, I'm going to ask you a question. Are you visiting with your mom today?" And he reached out his hand and touched yes. And then she asked him, did you eat lunch yet? And he reached out and touched no. And I knew for the first time that we had a connection.
Sherry was brought to Maguire with only like 3 months to live. With the help of the wonderful people at Maguire, Sherry has blossomed into the most beautiful girl you could imagine. She could feed herself. She could use yes/no cards when you ask her a question. 15 years ago, I could actually say the medical community have given up on Sherry. They thought she would never live, and look at her now. She's the most beautiful young lady that a parent could ever want.
Meet the people of Maguire Memorial. Those who, despite having physical and mental challenges, achieve the unimaginable every day. And the dedicated staff who tirelessly work with these, the most vulnerable among us, to help them live a life with dignity, healing, love, and purpose. 89 people, individuals who are profoundly challenged like Rebecca, Nicholas, and Sherry, come to live in the residential program known as the Intermediate Care Facility, the very heart and soul of Maguire Memorial. Ranging in age from 5 to 65, these children and adults face daunting physical realities.
We look past a disability. We see the person who has a disability. And the disability doesn't really matter to us at Maguire Memorial. We look at each and every individual that we serve as a gift from God. A gift that is to be treasured, a gift that is to be enhanced, and an individual whose life is to be lived to the fullest. A life where compassion and healing are a great part of what we do at Maguire Memorial. As God's gift to us, each and every individual is treated with dignity and respect.
And that is the singular guiding mission of Maguire Memorial.
Yeah.
The people of Maguire know that there is a person within who can achieve a fullness of life, even if the person has the most severe disabilities. For example,
"Hey Nick, look, got this little shaker. Pick it up. Have some fun with this. There you go. Good job."
when Nicholas can communicate for the first time in 22 years, or when Sherry can feed herself.
There we go.
It has been said that heroes and saints are merely simple people who do extraordinary things. That being true, you walk in the midst of heroes and saints every day at Mcguire.
Many of the individuals we serve at Maguire have very chronic medical conditions. Several of them are tethered to oxygen, or IVs, or even feeding tubes. Despite that, they all get out of bed every day, and they participate in treatment programs where they move about very frequently, every hour. Nursing supports that in their role at Maguire. If someone becomes acutely ill, nursing treats that individual, helps them get better, and then helps them return back to their active life. We always need to remember that these individuals are not in a nursing facility, they are in their home.
The reality of these children's and adults' lives is that they're totally dependent on the staff for virtually everything. So whether it's playing ball, combing one's own hair, or simply sitting upright, the Maguire staff is dedicated to helping make and shape each and every one of their days, whether they're performing the most basic of tasks or working toward their loftiest dreams, so that everyone can recognize and work toward their own personal potential. How do the people of Mcguire reach them? How do they break through the seemingly insurmountable limitations?
It's the eyes. The eyes are truly the windows to their souls. We watch the people we care for, we observe them, and slowly throughout time, we learn to notice how they're communicating with us. We learn to look past their twisted bodies, and then we're privileged enough to meet the person that's on the inside.
Each of them communicate in their own special way, but most of it's nonverbal.
It can be the way they turn their head, whether to the right or to the left, that signals a different response.
That's right, it's yes.
It could be the blink of an eye, or which hand is raised. It could be a smile, or a change in a breathing pattern.
We teach them how to use their eyes, their hands, and their facial expressions to communicate with us. We do this slowly, patiently, consistently, and with a lot of love.
Progress is made in the tiniest of increments. Results can take years to see. It has been said that you make a life by what you give. No words are more befitting the Maguire staff. Yet the Maguire staff would tell you that the opposite is equally true. For those they serve, some of the most vulnerable among us, have full, rich lives because it is they who have given so much to them.
When Mark was in children's, as an infant, my wife would sing and sing to him over and over again in attempts to comfort him and even comfort, I think, the rest of us while we went through those trying times. And now here we are 14 years later, and there's a song that has stuck with Mark over the years that he still hums to this day. And that song is Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And sometimes I think maybe Mark has actually gone over the rainbow and is there in that place is Maguire.
To witness the lives of people like Sherry, Nicholas, Rebecca, Mark, and Shannon is to witness the mystery and sacredness of human life as it reveals itself each day at Maguire. Ours is not to cry, but to cheer for them. Ours is not to pity, but to applaud them. For they love so honestly, work so diligently, achieve so magnificently. We stand in awe and humility before them, and we are better people for having met them. These are the people of Maguire Memorial.